Hello guys, good evening and you're welcome to my Instagram channel where we discuss migration at its best. That's all we talk about here, migration. I hope everybody can hear me loud and clear. You're welcome on this very, very unique episode. We're talking about the Erasmus Mundus program. Remember that usually I would talk about different countries to migrate to, and you have access to that information on my YouTube channel. Okay, my YouTube channel, you will find everything you need with respect to details about traveling abroad. Okay, migration, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, UK, USA, Republic of Ireland, Finland, Norway, Sweden, Georgia, Poland, Japan, China, Portugal, Belgium, France. I have it all detailed on my YouTube channel. Okay. Last week I did bring a friend to come talk to you about studying in Europe for free. So we did an episode about the Erasmus Mundus program, and I published it on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't seen that, you can go on my YouTube channel and watch. Okay, the Erasmus Mundus program gives you free education all across Europe. You can go to 3-4 countries while you study. It has a lot of details which we talked about. Okay, they pay for your flights, they pay for your accommodation, they pay you monthly stipend, they pay you installation fees, they take care of your visa. So it works, and she is one of the recipients, and these things work. Okay, so we thought about the fact that we can, have this discussion again and teach people how to do it step by step. Okay, so that, because I've received a lot of DMs about the fact, doctor, how do we actually go about it? We know that this is a fantastic program, but how do we do it step by step? Okay, so I thought that we should discuss it now, step by step. Okay, so I will bring her up again, so she will take us through the process, how it's done, the website, how you apply, the things to click. She would show you. Okay, if you have any questions, do not forget, just put it in the just put it down on the comment section, and I will answer. A lot of people sending me requests to be in my live. How will you send me requests to be in my live when I want to invite someone to talk on this live? All right, guys, this is about migrating and living where you are for greener pastures. So I will bring her up now. Okay, step-by-step process about Mundus program. It's a fantastic program. If you look at my previous video, it's on Instagram, and I have it on my YouTube channel. You will see the details. What exactly is this Erasmus Mundus program? And you will see the details. Hey, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thanks for joining me again. I know that you have a lot to do. You have a lot of deadlines and all that. But, there was a need for this video because a lot of messages kept coming after last week about the fact that how can we do it? What's the process like? Can you teach us step by step? And we had that discussion. And you said, yes, we can actually talk about how to do it step by step. Okay, so I'll hand over the baton to you so that you can take over and talk to the people. We're talking today step by step how to apply for the Erasmus Mundus program. If you want to know what the Erasmus Mundus program is all about, go to my previous video. It's on my YouTube channel. It's also on here on Instagram, and you know everything about the Erasmus Mundus program. But in a nutshell, it's a program that allows you travel Europe for free, get education in Europe for free. They take care of everything. The cost is on them. You don't have to spend anything. But today we're talking about the step-by-step process. All right, Sheon, over to you.
So it's Sheon. Why do you say Sheon?
So what's the difference?
The difference is
sorry.
La.
Okay, Sheon La. Sorry, Sheon La.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everybody, and I'm going to just rush it. I'm going to talk fast. I just hope everybody gets it. Can you hear me clearly? Someone said they can barely hear.
Guys, can you just wave if you can hear us clearly, so that we know that you can hear? Because someone is saying that they can barely hear us. Can someone just wave or say that they can hear us, so that we know that you guys can actually hear us? Yes, they can hear us. So go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm going to, because a lot of questions that came up, like God, a lot of questions that came up were pretty much referring to things that we had already discussed last week. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go over like everything from the beginning down to like how to now apply. So I'm going to refer to some things we talked about last week. So first off, this program is the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master's Degree Program, which means if you want to look for a bachelor's degree, you cannot apply for this particular Erasmus Mundus program. Now, there are Erasmus Mundus exchange programs where maybe you are an undergraduate student in one university and then you want to go to another university for your internship, or you want to go to another university for the second year of a program, or all those kind of stuff. It applies. You can do that if maybe you're studying in Europe already. You can do that if maybe you're a master's student already, or you're an undergraduate student already. But that is not the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master's Degree Program. So particularly the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master's Degree Program is structured in a way that there is a list of schools that are in any program you want to go into. So I'll give examples of two. The FAME program is the Functional Advanced Materials Engineering program. There, where you check the list of countries you can go to, there's Germany, there's Belgium, there's France, and I think there's one more. I can't really remember, maybe Portugal. But if you're applying to that program, the countries you can go to based on that program are those countries that are in the list. So any other program is out of it. Any other country rather is out of it for that program. So it's not as if you say, I want to go to Poland. I want to go to UK. I want to visit, which other countries in the EU? Slovenia. I want to visit Slovenia. So I want to apply for Erasmus. No, you don't, in quote, make that decision. How it happens is based on the program you're applying to. So they have the countries that are there. And because they have the countries that are there, whatever immigration laws that govern those countries are the ones that you're going to face when you're going in. So now that I've talked about how the program is, I'll now go into how to apply. So there are regular application documents you need when you're trying to apply for any scholarship at all. I'm just going to give you an overview. Sorry, let me quickly type it in to know. I've sent it to so many people these days. So we'll just give a list of documents you need. Firstly, you need your bachelor's degree certificate. So if you do not have your bachelor's degree certificate yet, you can use a notification of result. That notification of result is what, if you go for NYSC and your university has not provided your certificate yet, that notification of result is what you could use. Another thing you could use, if maybe you've not graduated yet, for example, you're a 500 level, you'll be finishing 500 level in July, and then you want to apply. And of course, you've not graduated yet. You can get a letter from your department, a letter from your lecturer and anyone, and just tell them, like somebody in your school, of course, like a top person, your department HOD, can be your registrar, can be your VC, whoever, that just states that you are in so and so year, you've completed XYZ, you're a good student, blah, 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 and that you'll be graduating by XYZ. Don't mention the month. If the month you're graduating at is outside their consideration period for the scholarship, some of them will tell you you must have graduated by May 2021. Some of them will tell you you must have graduated before the resumption of the program. So however it is, they'll write a letter saying that. So that letter, notification of results or statement of result or whatever, can suffice for your bachelor's degree certificate. Second thing you need is your university transcript. Now, in Nigeria, our universities are blessed. Because they are blessed, there are certain things that may not come easy. But FUTA, for example, is one of the universities that I'm grateful I went to FUTA because it was quite easy. Once you're graduating from FUTA right now, you get your certificate and you get a free copy of your transcript, the student's copy. So once you are graduating, you have anything you need to be able to apply for stuff. But if your school doesn't give you that like that, the ways you can apply, there's usually a student copy, there's an official copy they send within Nigeria, and then there's an official copy they send outside Nigeria. some schools, I think there was one of my friends who wanted to get from Unical, another person wanted to get from Madonna University, and they were like, they're not going to give them students copy. They will only send to the university. And I think she said the money they needed to collect was maybe like, I think Madonna was asking for 20 or 50K, and then Unical was like 30K, and that they won't give it to you. So which means if you don't have access to it, if you want to apply to 10 schools, you pay 50K 10 times. I'll give you a tip about that one, but that tip is like, what's the word?
Backdoor.
It's a backdoor tip. Yeah, you can find a way to get access to it on your own. Like some students have had to do that. Okay? Some students have had to do that because, of course, they cannot always keep. This person is asking me again, is this program for undergraduate? It's not for undergraduates.
Please go ahead.
Like, so when you want to get the transcript anyway, like the best way for you to do it is if your school does not have that option, then you use the back door and get it through somewhere else. So which means you apply for your transcript still, but maybe apply it through a company or an organization that you have access to. So when the organization gets it, they give it to you. That way you get to use that copy to apply for other scholarships. But the point is you need a transcript. If you have not graduated yet or your results are not yet ready completely, get a sessional result. So as when I was in, I think 300 level or 400 level, I applied for certain things in my school and I needed a transcript. Because of course I had not graduated, I didn't have a transcript. So I got a sessional result where they gave me my 100 level grade, 200 level, 300 level, up to the level that I had completed. So many of these schools would accept that from you. But of course, you tell them, send a mail to them, oh, I want to apply for this stuff. I've not graduated yet. And because I've not graduated yet, I have my sessional result up to so and so semester. I'll be done by XYZ time. You know, they understand. And many of them always give those considerations on their website.
Okay.
Next thing you need is international passport. Now, before I used to tell people that international passport was not compulsory. But for Erasmus, I feel like it's just compulsory. When you're applying for scholarships like Chevening, I think since it's like country based, you know, it's easy for them to accept another form of ID. It's easy for you to be selected and then work towards getting your ID. But with Erasmus, they need to see your identification. And it's an international program that, unlike Chevening, that when you apply for Chevening, you apply for Chevening under Nigeria's category. So like the Nigerian sector in quotes, they can even recognize your NIN. But this Erasmus Mundus scholarship is an international thing where people from US, people from UK, people from Canada, people from Russia can apply. So which means they need to see an ID that is very recognized, and that's your passport. I saw one where some people applied, and at the point where they were done with the application, some people's names, they didn't even tell them whether they had good scores or not. It was just ineligible. Ineligible because the ID that they dropped was not eligible for them to, like, NIN and stuff. So make sure you get your passport. Passport is like, I think officially it should be 25 or 27K. If you have time ahead, like if you can plan ahead of time, application is not starting soon. Try to do it where you can do it. Go to states where it is easier and you get it shorter time, like a kitty. So that's international passport. And then you need your recommendation letters. I don't think there's any scholarship you're applying for that you don't need to submit recommendation letters. And I talked about it the last time, but I'll talk about it again. A recommendation letter is a letter that is coming from someone who is a referee to you, and the person can say, okay, you know what, Chimla is a stellar student. She achieved excellent grades while she was in school. She was part of the student union body. Even when she contested for certain positions, she still scored high grades. She was so interactive in class. She carried out her project all on her own with minimal supervision, and she did it so excellently. You know, she was also in the debate club, so she represented her school for competition. That at the time they finished talking about you, you'd be like, wow. I read someone's recommendation letter from me and I said, oh my god, I had extra recommendation. By the time the person sent it in, like, you know, I had 3 and I needed 2. But I was like, oh my god, see, like, I was like, it's me they're talking about. That's the kind of recommendation letter you need. You get. So one of the easiest ways to get your recommendation letters to be like dope as give them information that will be useful. If they don't know that you were in the debate club, they will not write about it. If they don't know that you won competition, they will not write about it. If they don't know that you ran for student union president, they will not write that you did that. If they don't know stuff about you, they can't write about you. So inform them. Your recommendation letter must not be from a professor. It can be from a doctor. It can be from a supervisor who is not a prof. As long as the person can say good information about you. There are some people who have like like a template they always use for every season. You just dump it. They use the same thing because they don't have time. You don't want that. If there's a doctor who you knew from school that was somehow like taught you something or something, is okay. Just make sure you have good recommendation letters. And then I think next thing is your academic CV. You have to have an academic CV. I will show you mine or one of the ones I used. And the essence of the academic, usually a CV is CV, but an academic CV is particular because it should highlight certain things that you did in academia. It should, when you're writing about your undergraduate degree, you should have explanation about certain things you did that relate to the program you're going for. For example, in my undergraduate degree, I did a research on ceramics, on aluminum composite, whatever. I explained it in my CV. If I was applying for a job in some places, I wouldn't bother. So all those kind of things, you'd explain it more. I'm trying to get my CV. Yeah. So you have your educational CV that highlight. I'm going to show you that just now. For the Erasmus scholarships, almost all Erasmus programs want people to use the Europass format. The Europass format or the Europass template are several. There's a website. Just Google Europass CV. You see a website where you can do your CV for free. But you have to do it yourself, not the one that looking for somebody that you give 10K. Someone met me and said, can you do my CV for me? I give you 10,000. I said, go to the website and do it by yourself. It's easy to do this things yourself. Just take your time. So the Erasmus Europass format has different templates. Some have a specific template out of all those ones they want you to use. Why some they don't have? They just tell you use anyone. So I'm going to show you mine. I'll just give you like a scan through. Where's this? Something to turn the camera to the other side by. Oh yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. So this is a CV. From my personal information, you included my date of birth for this particular one. I included marital status and all that. But the truth is this: all of this nonsense is irrelevant. The only thing that's important here, I think, maybe should be maybe like your nationality and stuff like that. But this is the key part. I showed you my age, shall. Anyway, this is the key part. You can. I talked about how I graduated in the top 6% of my class. I didn't have a first class degree. I had a 2-1 that was a 4.32. Because my 2-1 is a 4.32, I stress it. I let them know my 2-1 is not just a 2-1 because you want to highlight your good points. My Bachelor of Engineering in Nigeria, most of our studies are with honors because like 5 years, 4 years, 5 years and stuff. So it's always with honors. So put it there because there are some that are without honors in certain countries. You don't want that confusion. So you can put it with honors in whatever you had the degree. Include things that show your top 6%. In my class, I developed expertise in material science, blah, 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 blah. I was recognized as a top researcher in my department. Stuff like that are important. If you finish with a oh boy, what am I doing? Yeah, if you finish with a 2-1 and your 2-1 is not so strong, you don't have to put your grade there. Just put the percentage that you graduated with in. Like you can put graduated in the top 10% of your class. If that's what you had, that will shine your light better. And another thing is, if you graduated with a 3 point something out of 5, if not by force, if it's compulsory for you to put that grade, don't put it over 5, just put it or just put the grade there. All those things are small tricks that of course they'll see your transcript, but before you see your transcript, a lot of these people that go through your stuff, they are human beings and they have emotions. You want to make them
play on the emotion. Yeah.
Someone sent me a message and then what she was talking about it showed that she had watched the video and she had done some research. And I was about to answer her already. Really, I was really about to answer. And then she was like, oh, your news, I love you. And I'm like, okay, thank you. Honestly, because it was a small, silly comment, but I'm a human being and it made me smile. And somehow I realized that I answered her, gave her more stuff than she even asked for. And that these people are human beings. Let them see small things that give them a spark of light. It might be 1 point, it might be 2 points, but that's not what might help you to win. So in my CV too, I talked about some stuff I've done with research where I helped some people like check out articles when they wanted to do some research work. It's relevant for me because I'm studying something that's got to do with research. If you have work experience in your field, include it. If you won awards, I won certain awards. I won them to I won them. I had the Dean's List Certificate of Excellence. I won competitions. I put all of those things there. They help you. some of these things, some of these competitions are not relevant to your program, but it shows that you were able to combine extracurricular activities with your education. Don't stress too much on this. Stress more on your academic stuff because it's an academic CV. And if they tell you, know the number of pages, some will tell you it's not more than 1 page. They just want like a resume, which is rare, but usually they tell you 2 pages. Don't pass 2 pages. Try as much as possible to fit it in. If you have any publication, maybe your undergraduate research, you did a publication, fit it in your CV, and then you can include the link too. I had my own with the Materials Research Express Journal, and it was also on ResearchGate, and it's on my CV. So if they see, they know, oh, I have research experience. If, for example, during my undergraduate study, maybe I had this thing where my one is supervisor in my school then called a few students. They called me that day too. I know how to go. They called a few students and told them to like work on a particular article. You know, they worked on it and then they presented it at a conference in Abuja. If I was part of that kind of thing, I would include it. Presenter, Kiniko conference. It helps you because it shows research experience. And Erasmus scholarships are purely like because of your academic skills. So you want to shine that light. If you have certain certifications that relate to your program, maybe you studied nursing and you did something that's related to nursing, add the certificate. If you maybe did an HSC course, add it up. All these things that you have that relate to it, add it up. If they ask you for your skills, use reasonable things. Put skills there and all of that. So that's that about your CV. Then the next thing is, I talked about journal already, which you could also, if you don't have journals, I'll tell you how to work on that possibly if I remember. But another thing that is key is English proficiency letter. So for some of you, the programs you're applying for will tell you don't need to provide English proficiency. So you don't need to write IELTS or TOEFL. While for some, when you're applying to the program, they'll tell you you must write IELTS or TOEFL. One trick I'll advise people is before you decide, oh, let me go and write, if you don't have money, or before you decide, oh, I'm not applying for this stuff because I don't have IELTS or TOEFL, try your best. Ask questions, send emails to them, go through their frequently asked questions, FAQs. You may see that people from certain countries are exempted. You may see maybe if you had an undergraduate degree in English, you do not have to submit it. And then maybe if you don't go through all those things, you'd have said, I cannot apply. Kiniko, and you leave it, and yet you actually can. So all these things I think you should work on. While some they might request, or instead of TOEFL and IELTS, they may tell you, you know what, get us a letter from your university that says you studied in English and that you are proficient in English language. So you can get that if you have like a general studies department, you can get it from them. If you have like the registrar's office, you can get it from there. For some people, you can also get it from your department, from your HOD, whatever. I keep in this. If you notice, I talked about publishing journals, which is key with your supervisor who supervised you, doing conferences and supporting people in their research, and getting a good recommendation letter and getting your proficiency letter. All these things involve connections with people in academia. So this is why you have to maintain good relationship with some people in your faculty, people that will be able to respond to you when you need them. And also you have to, of course, be able to relate to them on time. There are certain people who at some point, by the time the scholarship I want to apply for has sent them an email to send my recommendation, before I even contact them saying, Prof, I applied here, who just tell me, oh, I saw this and I've sent your recommendation. Like, that's how it can work. A good thing also to do about your recommendation is sometimes offer to them, oh, sir, I know you're really busy. Should I like make a draft for you? If he tells you yes, then that's cool. Follow that, do a draft, and don't be humble. When you are writing the draft, if you've done stuff, please put it in. Like, don't be humble. Many people were grouped for their undergraduate research work. I didn't want to be grouped. I knew what I wanted to do, and I told my lecturer. So it was a key thing that people could talk about in my recommendation. And if I was maybe to have created a draft, I would have put it in. So that's about the documents that you need. After like having those documents, the next thing is knowing what you can apply for and when, and preparing to apply. Some people sent me some messages saying that, okay, the one that they want to apply for, the application is still open. There are some that I think the application is still open until like this month. If you're lucky, go ahead and shoot. These are the steps I used, and the reason why I'm telling you why I feel like this step is easier is because it helps you to keep track. There are people who I worked with, and some of them got selected for the Erasmus scholarship for this year. The first thing I tell them is go to the Erasmus catalog. So this is what we're doing now. This is the catalog. The link is here. If you just, in fact, if you just go to Google and you put, okay, where is it? If you put on Google, you just put Erasmus catalog, just put that. Once you put that on Google, safe. That's the first thing that will pop up. EMJMD catalog. EMJMD meaning Erasmus Mundus Joint Master's Degree. That's the first thing that will pop up, which is this. So when you come here, this place where you can filter for country, I don't think you should bother about it unless you are particular about a certain country you want to go to. If you are particular about certain university as well, you go here. But all those things are not necessary. What you should do is come here, go to year of student intake. I would advise for now, since 2021 is still here, choose 2021. Click apply. You may also go to field of study and filter, but it's not necessary. Why? There are some courses, for example, that are if you studied chemistry or no, there are certain courses that will fall under chemistry, and somebody who studied materials engineering may be able to study it. For example, this program called MESC, where is it? This MESC, Materials for Energy Storage and Conversion. It's a lot about chemistry. So if you've filtered out maybe a lot of stuff and you say you want to only do engineering, and so because of that you went to go and put information and science engineering, that course that is under chemistry won't show.
Will go out, yeah.
Yes, and that is one of the things that you could have studied. So you have to be careful. My advice, the list is long, yes, it's over 100 programs, but if you go through it one by one, you will not die. After you filter to 2021 intake, if let's say you are not even bothered about this year's resumption, because for many people you cannot even get that, just go here and put 2022, which means you are applying this year towards next year. Now, when you go, there are two links. If you're checking this stuff on your phone, it may not appear like this. You may see, let me see if I can turn it to mobile. No, I can't. So you may, when you're checking it on your phone, you may just see this, and under it you see International Master of whatever. It comes under it. However it is that you see it, don't click on this link. If you click on this link, for example, it takes you to another Europass
We are
page.
not seeing
Just
the
like
link well. We are not seeing the link well.
Okay. Let me go back. If you there are two, if you can click here, like you can click here for this one, or you can click here, or you can click on here. So you can click on either the acronym or the full name.
Okay.
If you click on the full name, it will take you to a place that just gives you information about the program. It doesn't tell you in-depth stuff. It's like an advertisement page of the program on the Erasmus website. You get? What you need to do is to click on this short form. So some people sent me messages where they clicked and they say they don't know how to apply. There's no information on them to apply. You won't see any information to apply if you click on the full name. Click on the short form. So let's say you click on the short form. Let me use one that I have not. Okay. You click on the short form for maybe implants. It takes you to the website. There's home, general information, program, whatever. I'm not going to be in depth with it because every program's website is different.
Different, yeah.
This is implant website. If you maybe were going for Gamma, this is, you see, it's different. So everyone's website is different, but at some point, most of the stuff that you're looking for is the same. So I go to Erasmus. I'll just check around, Firstly, I'm seeing Erasmus scholarship and I'm seeing, okay, for Erasmus scholarship, see what they give. You can see the amount we talked about. If your place of residence is less than 4,000 kilometers from the institution, then you'll be getting 2,000 euros per year for transportation.
So is this what they will be giving you?
Yeah, so this is for, okay, there's partner country and then there's program country. So for Nigerians, you most likely fall under partner country, unless, of course, you've lived in Europe for more than 12 months in the last 5 years. If you've not lived in Europe for more than 12 months in the last 5 years, you fall under partner country. So your school fees, will be around 18,000 euros, which will be paid to the universities by themselves. And they will be providing 2,000 euros for transportation if where you live is like 2,000, is less than 4,000 kilometers. If you live in Nigeria, you most likely fall under this 3,000 thing. If you live in Nigeria,
that
you most
means
likely fall under
they will pay you 3,000 euro as transportation allowance.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then they'll give you installation cost, and then they'll give you living allowances of 1,000 euros. And they told you maximum of 24 months. So if you have carryover, and because of your carryover, you stay more than the 24 months, they
24
won't pay your
months.
allowances
They
for
will
that
not pay
time.
allowance.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like this, the reason why it's cool, I'm showing you this, is so that it's not, the information is not hidden. It's available to the public for them to see. How to apply, application procedure for M-Plants. They said the first call for Erasmus Mundus scholarship is closed. The second call for applications is for self-funded applications. It's also closed. They said the next M-Plant call for applications is between, I don't know if this is clear, but that's the thing with laptops, because of the light. The next stuff will open in October 2021.
Okay.
So you'll be applying for 2022 to 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for some people now, you go to the restaurant and say, it's like it's open, I can apply. But the truth is, the only thing you can apply for is for self-funded applicants, which means people who can pay their school fees by their.
Hey, Fireborn network. There's a network issue now. So, yeah, okay, she's back. Okay, we're having some network difficulty now. She's breaking off. Okay, guys, so you can see that this is real, okay? I think she has a problem with her network. I'll bring her back later. But at least you can see that this is real, and it's not as if we're telling you stories. Because somebody wrote on my Twitter comment and said, beware of anything that is free, or nothing is free in Freetown. But you can see that now this is possible, and it's not as if we're hiding any information. She just opened one for you. They'll pay the university 18,000. They'll pay you 3,000 transportation. They'll be paying you 1,000 something every month. They'll pay you installation fees. So these things are actually there. So it's free. It's free if you can go through the process step by step. We are going to answer your questions, guys. We're going to answer your questions. I promise you. The connection has just gone off. I wanted her to just take you through how, then I will start answering questions. We'll start asking questions that you're writing down and answering them, okay? I'm going to try and bring her back up. Okay, so that I'm going to try and bring her back up so that we can continue. But it's totally free of charge, okay? It's totally free. These things are not hidden, like she said. They are there, and the opportunities are present, you know. So for those people who think, they want to go and sell your organ, they want to go and they will kidnap you. I don't know how people think like that. Kidnap you. Erasmus Mundus will kidnap you. I mean, the thinking is so myopic. But I don't have a problem. If you want to stay in your Nigeria, stay. If you want to stay where you are, stay. I'm not begging you. I'm only telling you that the opportunity is there. You has ears, let him hear. You has eyes, let him open and see. All right, Yola, please go ahead.
Sorry, I got cut off. I don't know. Something
Fine.
happened to my Wi-Fi
Go
again.
ahead.
Okay, so next step is when I go to the program's website, I first check their admissions requirements. I studied metallurgical materials engineering, but by the time I wanted to apply for a program called EMJMD, I realized that even if it was about structures and about materials and about metals for marine structures, I did not meet their requirements. So they wanted engineering and stuff, but there's some things you must check. So here, they said they want people who have a Bachelor of Degree of Science in Agriculture, Agronomy, plant biology, biotech, biochemistry, genetics, all related relevant fields. Now, if your field is not any of these, but you feel it is related, just send them an email and say, oh, I studied XYZ and I want to apply. Do you think do I meet the criteria? Yeah, do I meet the requirement when it comes to your degrees or whatever? And you ask them. If you see here, they wrote or students in their last bachelor year, which means they don't mind if you have not graduated, as long as you'd have graduated by the time of resumption. Then language proficiency, they wrote B2 in English, except when English is your mother tongue. If not, provide us with blah, 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 IELTS, TOEFL, Cambridge, or a letter from your university attesting that English is your medium of instruction. Once I go through this now, let's imagine that I have studied maybe agricultural, I don't know, agricultural something. If I had studied that, once let's imagine I studied agricultural science. Okay. So if we imagine that, and I came here, I know that as at this point, I meet their requirements. As at this point, too, I've met all their requirements because I studied in English and I can get a letter from my university. Then here, they now said for those applying to UPV in year 2, a level B1 is needed by the beginning of the second year, but not required at the time of application. Which means when you're applying in year 2, there are different universities to choose from. But if the university you want is UPV for your second year, because when you're applying, they'll tell you to choose where you want for your first year, maybe for your second year. If you choose UPV, they'll tell you that you must have Spanish proficiency. So which means if you cannot speak Spanish, don't bother. And they wrote it there that it is not needed at the time of application, but it will be required at the beginning of the second year.
Can you move closer to the screen so that people can see it clearly? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here they are saying, if you want to apply, and for the second year you want to choose, they wrote it for those applying to UPV in the second year, a level B1 is needed in the beginning of the second year, but not required at the time of the application. So at the point where, but this is the mistake some people make. They feel like, thank God, it's not needed at the point of the application. And since it is not needed at the point of the application, I can just, wing it. And then by the time you're in your first year, while you're studying other courses, you're also studying Spanish. In a year, unless that's the only language you're studying, it will be really difficult for you to learn Spanish so good that by the second year, you'll be able to study in Spanish. So if that is the case, the advice is, if you cannot speak Spanish, don't even bother applying to UPV for your second year. Apply to the other, like there are other options that you can use. You understand? Like it just makes it easier for you. Because some people, I know one of my friends right now in here, she's Italian, she speaks English, but her program for this semester is taught in Slovene. And she does not speak Slovene. And I had to ask her that, how is she coping? She said, well, when she was applying, she didn't know. And so right now, for every class, she does like a translate. So when class is going on and they are speaking their language, she doesn't even bother because she doesn't understand a thing. If you're a person coming from Nigeria, you will struggle a lot for that kind of thing. So like that's the last part. So here now that I realize, oh, you know what, I meet the admissions requirement, I'll now go to the documents needed to apply. I can see copy of your diploma or enrolled certificate for last year students. Here now, they don't need a notification of they don't need a notification letter from your HOD saying that you will soon graduate. They just need an enrolled certificate. So the certificate given to you at your matriculation or your admission letter or something can suffice here. And whenever you're not sure of anything, send them an email and ask them. Copy of your transcript and grading scale. Add an English translation if applicable. You studied in English, so yours in English already. They said copy of official language certificate, CV in, you see, European format, what I told you about before. Then your passport, they wrote all valid ID. If you are from Europe, there are some European IDs that these people use. If you're not from Europe, just use your Nigerian passport. Then they say proof of current and exact place of residence, and then wrote see requirements below. I'll talk about this. Then talked about recommendation letter. Then they said declaration on honor. That one, I didn't see it when I was applying, but it's just like a document that you download and fill, which states that you filled this application from yourself and everything was written by you and stuff like that. And if not, they wrote other documents you consider relevant for your application. If it was me and I had certain research work, my publications, certain certifications, I would upload it. Because here they are giving you access to put in documents that may support your application. And then here, if you notice, they said a proof of current and exact place of residence, and they said see requirements below. Many of these programs tell you the kind of documents you can use that proves your place of residence. The reason why they use this, the reason why they tell you this is, before they wrote that for transportation allowance, they'll give 2,000 euros if where you stay is less than 2,000 kilometers from the university, but if it is more than 4,000 kilometers, to give you 3,000 euros. That is the essence of this proof of residence. The proof of residence let them know how far where you are is from the university, and also whether you live in a program country. If, for example, I live in Slovenia, or I've been living in Slovenia, even if it's not been up to 12 months, if I am studying in Slovenia, they would not give me 3,000 euros for transportation allowance. They'll give me 1,000. So the essence of that is, and they wrote see requirements below. See the kind of requirements they have. For certificate of residence, they said you could get a certificate from your place of work, from your university, from your employer, from your institution, or people that stay in Lagos, they know how to get something like that from the local government. But this is the easiest way, getting from your workplace, your study place. If you run your own business, you can write that too and put it. There are easy ways to sort all of these out.
Okay.
And they wrote they won't accept. Okay. They don't want. Yeah, here they wrote that we won't accept work certificate from the company you're working in. We want to have your current personal postal address and not your working address. And we won't accept your birth certificate or your passport. So if you want to give them documents for your what's the word? If you want to give them something that shows your current postal address, these are the things they won't receive from you. Because they want to be sure that your postal address that you're using to apply is really where you are. So based on this, now I know. Yeah. So like this is the first step I take when I want to apply for something. So based on these steps, I decide whether I meet their requirements, like their criteria. And two, I now decide whether I have the documents that they want. If I don't have the documents that they want, you can always create a list. It's better online on Google Doc, for example, where you have the name of the program, put the deadline beside the name, put the link of the program underneath. You can do that for like 5, 6 or more programs. Because like I said, you're allowed to apply to, as at 2 years ago, you could only apply to 3 Erasmus programs. But of recent, they've increased the chances. They tell you can apply for 3 Erasmus programs, and when it comes to the new programs that just joined in, you can apply for as many as you want. Hopefully they can even say, anybody can apply to. It all depends. So I create that list. I will just keep going through the catalog from the top. You know how to open a new tab. I don't have to show you that. For each one I see, and this is the thing that helps people. There is one here, master in food identity. That's all they wrote here. Food identity. If let's say you studied agricultural science and you now start crying, I went through everything, I didn't see anything that meets my course, you are lying. It's because you refuse to open your eye. The more you look, the more you see. Because here there is food identity. Agriculture, you did something that's got to do with food.
Exactly.
You open it. You open it. By the time you open it, you see, okay, what are the kind of things they require? Okay, in their requirement, they want people who have done something in, they'll tell you the kind of things there, just like the other one. They will tell you the kind of areas that they're looking for somebody in. And once you realize that you have all those, you shoot your shot and you apply. If, let's say, what you studied is business, someone told me that the person did not see anything in business. I'm like, really? I'm going through this now. And firstly, I'm seeing global markets and local creatives. Like, that's the name. Global markets, local creativities, rather. That already gives me an idea that has got something to do with market. What did you study? Think of certain things that are in what you study, and then you'll be able to apply. You look at how you apply for something. Some people study maybe chemical engineering, something that's got to do with chemical sciences, or some stuff that have got to do with sanitation. It has got to do with water. It has got to do with environment and all of that. And then you'll be saying you don't see what to apply for, and you see examples of things that have catchphrases. That's the word. Think of things you study.
People also ask about health, medical field.
There was a time there was one of my friends who then I had time for people, which I don't now. Then I was like, I was encouraged. I think you can apply. I will go to this catalog. I'll tell her that, do you have this? What do you have? What did you study? Blah, blah, blah. I'll know all those information on my own. I'll now go to this website, spend like an hour or more search for the different things that this person can apply for. I'll now tell her, okay, you can apply for this, can apply for this, can apply for this. Now it's Canada she wants to go to. She does not even want to come to Europe anymore. Now 1 hour has gone. For some people, of course, like they took that, oh, thank you so much, and they decided to apply. And this, I feel like this is the reason why a lot of people here, I see some DMs. You can still hear me. It's that loading thing again.
You're breaking up. Yeah, you're breaking up.
Okay, let me wait. Yeah, I was seeing that loading sign, so I just knew that something was up.
So you were saying that you get some DMs?
Yeah, I get certain DMs, and when I see the kind of messages they're asking me, I don't bother responding, because it shows that you're not ready to do any work. And when somebody's not ready to do any work, it's annoying that you waste your time, trying to spend your time to do some kind of research. Because I'm studying. I have, like, right now, I have an assignment that is on my head. It's like 45% of the class and of the grade, and I've not submitted yet. I'm spending time to give people information, and then you cannot watch the video. Because one of the first things we talked about in last video was, okay, no, the age does not matter. Or we say,
and
it doesn't matter whether you're married.
People are still asking me, is there age limit? And we talked about this last week, and the video is there.
So, like, when I see things like this, when someone out there sent me a message in DM that, maybe please give me a list, I'm not giving you any list. There are some lists I already have because I did it for some people. But I'm telling myself, I remove that spirit of do it for you. Do it by yourself. Because if, let's say, that person has...
Okay, she's network again. No. Fire. Network. Hey, God. What is happening? Okay, guys. So the idea is, this is another network glitch. The idea is that no matter the course, you will always find something. Since this is what we're talking about. Somebody's saying, please, is the application on now or till next year? And we have mentioned here that some applications are open, some applications are closed. How am I going to now answer you now that you're asking me if it is here or next year? Those are the very, very, I don't want to use the word irritating, but these questions are unfair because you should watch the videos yourself and listen. Okay,
I feel, and I think that's just what makes it easy. I don't know why this stuff keeps happening. I think they are fixing the Wi-Fi. I hope they are not fixing the Wi-Fi because the Wi-Fi is having some problem. And today of all this is now when they are fixing it. I beg.
There's no
But,
problem. Let's
like the thing
continue.
is,
What
I
else?
feel
What
this is,
else? What else in the process
yeah.
do we
So
need to do?
after going through this stuff and you make your list, the next key step is I tell people evaluate your chances. This is how I feel you should evaluate your chances. The Erasmus Mundus Nigeria page. Any student that gets taken in that's from Nigeria, they send, like, they put out information. I'm going to show you that now. They put out information about the person's profile. Like, by the time I got in, you see female, tribals program, has a blah blah blah. They'll tell you certain things about the person. They might not tell you the person's name, but they'll give you information about the person that lets you know, okay, someone that's had this kind of grade has been selected. Boy, today is today. Sorry about the network, but let me show you quickly. Yeah, so this is Erasmus Mundus Nigeria. 4 hours ago, they posted, apparently, this is the 53rd awardee that has signaled that they've gotten Erasmus this year. Thing is male, has a bachelor in English, and the person was selected in Erasmus Mundus Nigeria.
Facebook or Instagram or where?
It's Facebook.
Okay.
So they have information from last year, 2 years ago, and this year. This person now has no internship experience. The person had a second-class upper division, finished from Abia State University, has a degree in English and English language and literature, and the person got selected in International Master in Children's Literature, Media, and Culture. And you can see the person said he has 3 journal articles, and then 2 are still under reviews, and then 2 conference papers. He's also telling you it was the first time he was applying. He was meticulous in drafting his personal statement and CV. He read the objectives of the program and aligned. I don't know if you can see this.
I can see it clearly. I'm sure we can see it.
Okay. And then he said he received information, from the Erasmus Mundus Nigeria page, and that he feels like his strong academic background, recommendation letters, voluntary services, numerous ENT awards, which he detailed in his CV and stuff, contributed to his nomination. Above all, God's grace located me. Story. Yeah. No, really. It's a lot of people always add that at the end, and I feel like it's God's grace that you were able to even attain all these things that you've attained in the first place, which is really the thing that got you. This person, first class, 2 internship conferences. Like, my point is, you get to see this kind of information. And what I do here is I just come and I search at this point, and I'll click on any program I want to apply for. I did this when I was applying. God bless the people that started this page. So I'll click on FAME, for example. It will show me all the information from FAME. The last advertisement from FAME was...
What's the meaning of FAME again?
What?
What's the meaning of FAME again? Okay, another network difficulty here. So guys, I think the idea is that if you're ready to put in the work, Shionla, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I was asking, I said, what's the meaning of FAME?
Functional Advanced Materials Engineering.
Okay, so you just need to put into the box whatever you studied.
The
just
program, yeah. It's like, see this one. It told me the last time there was an admission was in 2019, and then it also showed that latest information was that scholarship was not open to Nigerians in 2020 application, and of course the reason was because the students that won last year, my set, we couldn't go because of what's the name, COVID. So last year they didn't take in new students. So like you can see from FAME, you see information here about people who have won. You see so and so scholar, the person won, the person got this, the person did that. You see all those kind of information. If you put another program, like whatever program you put, once you put it there, you'll be able to see certain details about those who have won. Those kind of details can give you an idea of what you should do to help. And then writing your motivation letter is
okay. Another glitch. We are wrapping this up anyway, so we'll just be answering questions now. Yeah, you're back. You were talking about motivation letter.
this is so annoying. Oh boy, anyways. And writing your motivation letter is a part that we have to be careful. I see a lot of people that pay certain people to write motivation letters for them.
Some
If you
people
notice
come to my DM to ask me that question, can you write motivation letter? And I say yes, actually, but I charge them very high so that it does two things. It shows that you are lazy and you cannot do something simple, then you run away. Because if I charge you 200,000 naira to write motivation letter for you, you will run away. So you can actually write your own letter yourself, and it's simple. It's very easy.
And when you write it yourself, you can express certain things that someone else cannot because they don't know your story.
Exactly.
I have a close friend who was telling me about it, and I was one I was offended. And then I told her 50,000. I really thought she'd be like, okay, no. And the next thing she goes, okay, so can I give you? Then you write two for me, and then I write to myself. So you didn't get the memo? No, I'm not doing it. You get, like, we had to get the other. When you pay certain people to write for you in Nigeria now, a lot of people are doing it, and this is why I'm even bringing it up. You're applying to a program that several people are applying for, and then the person that is seeing your application is seeing your motivation letter, and it's the same thing as somebody else. Both of you are gone. Because plagiarism is a big deal. Worst case is let your stuff go through a plagiarism checker. Because they have that. Of course, they have that. It goes through a plagiarism checker, and by the time it goes through, they realize that your motivation letter is plagiarized. Even if you had high scores in other things, you're disqualified immediately. For this program, you saw that there's a particular thing they say people are going to fill, a declaration on honor, where you say, I declare that I fill this application on my own without any external help and blah, blah, blah. By the time you say that, you declare that, you attest to the fact that you did it on your own, and at the end, they find out it's not your own. Please, where do you start from? What you can do is write your essay yourself and ask for reviews. When people tell me, Sheila, send me your motivation letter, I don't send anymore because I sent it to one person that I felt, this person cannot plagiarize. I'm the one editing his work, and he plagiarized me and gave it to me to help him to review. And as I said, I'm like, it's what I wrote that is this what you get. And I just felt like, you know what, I don't trust anybody anymore. And the problem with it is there's these stories that by the time I complained, I told him not to use that. He wrote another one. The second one was more relevant to what he was applying for. It told a better story. And that is a key thing. Even if I can give you a template, I won't give you a template. I won't even advise you to, in quote, follow a certain template. There are different letters online. Check them, read them, but write yours yourself. And then if you need someone to review, send them ahead of time. Don't send me, please, Shona, please, I need to share my review. I'll tell you, okay, no problem. When do you need it? I 10 minutes tomorrow. Ogun will not kill anybody. It will not work. And
okay,
I will tell
look. Yeah, Sheila, look, we've been chatting for the last 1 hour. Let's try and see if we can answer. Yeah, it's 1 hour. Let's try and see if we can answer a few questions. Someone is asking, is the application on now or till next year?
Okay. There are over 100 programs. Some of them are still on. Some of them have closed. There is no one application period for all of them. Erasmus programs are independent. One might be open from October to December. The other one may be open from September to January. The other one may be open from September to April. It's all different. So go to the one you are interested in. Open it in a new tab. If it is still open, if it's not open, we check. For example, we went through one right now and it was already closed. There's one that is still open. I know someone sent me the message about it. I can't remember the field, but just go and check.
Okay. Can you work while you study?
Yes and no. Well, this is why I'm saying it. So it depends on where you're going to. For example, I have some classmates who are in the UK right now. They have a tier 4 visa. The tier 4 visa, which means that they can actually get a work permit and they are allowed to work. So legally, you are in certain countries. Okay, so
Go ahead. Go
legally,
ahead.
you're allowed to work in certain countries that you go to. In Slovenia now, I think I have the temporary residency here. I think I should be allowed to work. I don't know. The reason why I did not even bother is and this is why I said no also. The Erasmus program is really intense. So if, let's say, I was at a certain university for a semester, I may just have to do maybe 3 courses or something. But in Erasmus, you're only going to be there for a short period of time. So you may have more work than a regular person who is doing masters in that department would have. I have 6 courses right now. I won't be surprised if a regular student under mechanical engineering department here may just have 4 or 3. So it is really intense. It's so intense that you won't have time to work for sometimes, which is why you have enough money to protect you and make you not to have to work. So maybe during your holidays, you can take a job. So for some countries, you may. For some, it's not even the kind of visa you have doesn't make you work. So it all depends.
Okay, let me ask you this. So for some people, they want to use the Erasmus Mundus program as an opportunity to, of course, japa. So they are saying that, can you stay back after the Erasmus Mundus program, or can you catapult yourself elsewhere in Europe? What do you think?
Okay, so the thing is, when you're done with your program, Erasmus tells you bye-bye. See that this time is what you do. So if you have a visa,
can you say that again? Can you repeat that again?
When you're done with the Erasmus program, when you're done with your program and you get your certificate, Erasmus tells you bye, like your program tells you bye. It's you who determines what you do with your life. So if, let's say, you are in maybe Sweden, for example, and in Sweden, a student is allowed to apply for, a graduate student is allowed to apply for the post-study visa of a year. You can choose to apply for that.
So you're saying that basically it depends on the country and what's the regulations that come with the visa. So most countries in Europe will give you 1 year, 2 years to stay after you study. So it depends on the country you are, basically. That's what it means.
And that is why if your aim is to just do it and go, from your first year, you have to know what you're doing. I know certain people who started applying for PhDs, immediately they started their 2nd year. Some people started applying for jobs, immediately they started their 1st semester of the 2nd year. Some said, okay, you know what, I want a post-study visa, so they saved up some money. So I know a girl from Philippines who said she saved up money, so she had some money that she was applying for a post-study visa, this money she will use. That's if she didn't get a job. So, but the point is that you're not mandated to do anything. The program tells you, congratulations, you graduated, goodbye. You decide what you want. So right from the point where you're going, you know how you start planning yourself. I don't know any Nigerian Erasmus scholar who has come back to Nigeria because they didn't have a choice. I don't know what.
Someone is saying that he can't find this program on Erasmus Mundus. Is that possible? We've told you that it's a lie. You have not looked well. Your program is on Erasmus Mundus. You are the one who is looking for, maybe you are looking for BSc in compulsory microbiology, instead of looking into something that resembles it. Compulsorily, you want to do PhD in medicine. You are not looking at something that has to do with health to attach yourself. It must be BSc in computer science and robotics. You are not looking at something that resembles it. So this is a lie. This is a wrong comment. Your program is there. Go and look for it. Somebody is saying, after BSc, I started a business and it's moving well. Can I include that in my CV? Will it come in handy?
If what you're applying for is a business, if what you're applying for is in management, yeah, you can. If what you're applying for is in business, then yeah, you can. If what you're applying for was like maybe local where it's about markets and stuff, you can put it in. If you're putting work experience, for example, I had a store in Navy before I left Nigeria. Because I needed them to know what I'd been doing, I included it. But it wasn't really relevant for my program. But I put it there so that they know, okay, this is what I have been doing all through my time, because you need to have it's not good to really have breaks like that in your CV. But there are certain roles, certain stuff you apply for that it will be relevant, something in management. And then, which means by the time you're putting the explanation of the experience, maybe studied started a business that this also raised the revenue by 50% in 3 months. Do this. You make sure you give those kind of details as it relates to the program that you're applying for.
Okay, there's guys that are asking for link. There's no way for me to put the link here. Go on Google, type Erasmus Mundus catalog. It's simple. Go on Google, Erasmus Mundus catalog. It will come out. The first link is that's what you need. You don't need any link for me to be clicking on. Someone is saying, can they move with a partner in the nominated program?
Actually, yes. So the good deal is, it depends on the country that you're going to and the immigration law and kind of visa you get. For some Erasmus programs, when you're going to the UK, the visa you get is a short-term multiple entry study visa, where you are not allowed to work and you're not allowed to come with a partner. While for some, they get the tier 4 visa when they are going to the UK. So like I said, it depends on where you're going. But if let's say in UK, the kind of visa you're allowed to get is short term and you cannot bring a partner, by the time you're going to the next country, one of them will have the allowance. But the thing is, your scholarship, you know, when you're applying for a visa, you need to show proof of funds. If you're a scholarship student, you don't need to show any account. You don't need to show any bank statement. But if you're applying for your partner to come with you, you need to show bank statement for that partner. And because of that, some people may not have that money. For example, if you're going to Sweden right now, I think that if you're taking your partner to Sweden, you may need to have, if you're applying for a permit for your partner to join you in Sweden, you may need to have about maybe 5,000 euros to show in an account that your partner has to join you. So that is key. Another thing that's important is your partner doesn't have transportation allowance. So if your partner follows you to the first country, you people will have to look for a way to get money to go to the next country, again. So the best thing is, by the time you get selected, calculate it well. Okay, I'm going to spend 1 semester here. I'm going to spend 2 semesters here. This is the last place I'm going to end up at. After I end up at this place, I'm going to apply for a job in this place. This is where I want to be. You know, by the time you've, done your permutations and you've calculated where you're going to land, that's when you can now decide to take your partner. The reason why I mentioned Sweden is because I know someone whose partner joined him in Sweden. I know another one whose partner is also supposed to join, and they all did that at the beginning of the next of the.
See, I am sorry. Don't take this the wrong way, but you see all this partner thing. I am always of the opinion that if you want to move and that's your priority, moving is your priority.
Yeah.
Move first. You move first. Sort yourself out, then start thinking about bringing partner.
Exactly.
You want to be dragging partner as if you are tying umbilical cord around your neck. I don't understand it. Move. Your priority is if your priority is your partner, stay with your partner. Because you get messages now. Okay, partner, I can't afford moving with partner. You have to know your priority. Do you want to move? If it is you first, because this kind of things, me, I'm always very selfish. Me, number one first. So if you want to move first, move. When you move, you sort your family out. Don't be
another key
compulsory. I want to move with partner. Oh yeah, you will spend money. There's no money now. What will I now do?
The funny thing is, when it comes to partner moving, there's a way you can be tactical about certain things. For example, if your partner moves with you, your partner has a degree already. Your partner has relevant work experience. So by the year that it takes you to complete your studies, your partner has gotten a job that is really good. And the job that your partner has gotten will help him extend his visa.
Exactly.
And give him a resident permit. And then you also, based on his own, even if you don't have a job at the point when you're done, you can now use his own resident permit to now stay. That's tactical reasoning. But if it is not about things like that, then
I have to move my part down as if they tie both of you together. So let's answer that question. Someone is asking, is there a law-related program?
Yes, several.
Okay. Someone is asking, my degree is older than 5 years. Can I apply?
What have you been doing within those 5 years?
I don't know what
if what you've been doing within I'm just
okay.
If what you've been doing within those 5 years is relevant to that field, then you may be able to. And if it is not, then I would advise you, see, between now and then, take up a course, do a postgraduate course. It might be for a few months,
but
do something in your field that let there be something educational there. And if let's say you've been working in your field all through that time, and all your work experience has been in your field, then you're good to go. It may be useful, but always check their website. Some of them will tell you that the ones who full bachelor degree has not passed 3 years, the last 3 years. Some say that. And if you now have a postgraduate degree, it will now, that's where it will cover up for you. But check the website. If you can do a postgraduate diploma, 6 months, 1 year, do it before next year.
Okay, look guys, I'm going to leave this video on my feed. It will be there on my Instagram feed. You can watch it. I'm also going to upload it on my YouTube channel. You can watch anytime. Feel free to send me a DM on my Twitter, on my Instagram. I will answer you as soon as I can. I always do. You can also send Sheun a DM. Sheunla, she's going to bite me now. Sheunla. You can send Sheunla a DM on Instagram or Twitter. Is Sheunla Adelusi. It's Sheunla Adelusi. You can send it to her and she'll respond. SEUNLAADELUSI. Okay? SEUNLAADELUSI. You can send her messages and she will respond to you.
If the
Please
message that
make
you're
sure
sending to
that you
is
have
something
watched
like
the
a good
video. Yes, make sure that you have watched both videos, because the first video we talked about the program in itself is on my YouTube channel, and this second video we are telling you step by step. Please don't ask questions that we have addressed. I think I also need to, even because I always answer questions, and I think it's unfair to other people that ask realistic questions, because when you ask me a question now that I've answered before, I will just leave your message. I will not even respond. If you like, say that, doctor, you are doing well. God will bless you. God will bless. I will not answer you. That's what we do now. It's been a pleasure, guys, having this show. Thank you very much, Sheunla. Again, we've had this discussion for 1 hour, 15 minutes. I think this is very good. We've gone explicitly and talked about how to apply for the Erasmus Mundus program step by step. Feel free to talk to us and we'll help you to achieve your goal, your aim of living where you are and migrating to a better place with better opportunities. Thank you very much, Sheunla. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.